Hello, this is Desiree Dellahan. This is my EDL 854 Module 11 video about gifts to students and staff. Giving gifts at school is a big celebration of special events and achievements, and it is very common. Giving gifts is a very thoughtful way of doing that in school. There are some guidelines in this slideshow that will help administrators and educators avoid improperly giving gifts in schools. So this is about gifts to students. Gifts to students should only be used as either incentives for fundraising or as awards for special achievements in school. So as for incentives for fundraising, only the students who participated should be given these gifts, and the prizes should always be age appropriate. Purchased with funds raised by the group who will receive the prize, so all of the funds should be from the fundraising. And the funds that are raised should not just favor one group of kids. So if there were funds raised by an entire fifth grade group of kids, and there are 7 fifth grade classes, the prizes should not only go to one of those fifth grade classes. Awards for special achievement. So awards and gifts should always be age appropriate and minimum in value. It's important that they are not spending lots of money on these, especially if a lot of money is not raised from the group that is giving the prizes.
Please come to the office. Emilio Torres, please come to the office.
Sorry about that. A general fund should pay for the awards, or else funds come from donations. Gifts to staff. The giving of gifts to staff members should be coordinated by a school committee. So the money for the staff gift should be taken up by a committee or given as contributions by the school staff. An example for this, in my school we have a social committee, and they have funds raised every year, so they're all by donation from staff. And we send things like flowers if a family member dies, or cards for birthdays, and that is all by donation. Special occasion gifts, they should be reasonably priced. The money should come out of annual dues or donations, again, like the committee that's been collecting it. Funds should be managed by a committee, and they need to have their own set of procedures. That way it's not just being taken over by one person who's making all of these decisions by themselves. The committee should meet at least once a year to review the guidelines. Fundraising incentive gifts. If staff members participated in the fundraising, then they may receive a gift, but if they did not, they should not be getting a gift. Gifts should not be any more than 5% of the total profit gained from the fundraising. All staff gifts or token gifts are normally given to teachers at the beginning or end of a school year, or for Teacher Appreciation Week. We do that every year in our school, and usually we're given gifts at the end of a school year from the principals. So staff-generated funds. It is okay to purchase gifts for staff if the funds are generated by the staff. Like I said, the committee that collects donations from the staff every year. All school fundraising, so if staff participates in fundraising, some of the funds may be spent on the staff for gifts. Incentive or recognition gifts. So if gifts come from a general fund, but they should be limited so the funds are used for educational purposes. Not all of the funds that are being generated should be given as gifts. They're obviously being generated so that they can be used on students' education. Just up there in the corner, something to remember, cash or cash equivalent items should not be given to staff. It could be considered extra earnings and could be taxed. Special effort projects. Any type of fundraising for special circumstances, so for illness or life-changing events, for staff has to be discussed with the district office. Those funds can be considered taxable wages. So again, if we are doing a penny drive for staff and all of those funds are being given to them, those can be considered taxable wages. That happened here in our building last year. We had the students do a penny drive, and they were given to a staff member whose daughter had to have her leg amputated. So we did have to talk to the district office about that. It's always best to have an organization spearhead special fundraising events and efforts, and they should keep the funds in a local bank for safety purposes, plus it keeps the money separate from the school funds, so that's always a good idea. Prizes and gifts are thoughtful, but it's always best to make sure there are procedural guidelines in place. Here you can see my standards. My program standard and my IST standard. ISTE standard. And here is my source cited. Thank you for watching.